Hey there, Hilda. It's been a while, hasn't it?
Oh, hey, Michelle. Yeah, I think the last time we saw each other was 2 years ago at the school reunion.
Well, you should know that I've seen you plenty of times since then.
Oh, really? Well, you should have said something to me. I would have loved to catch up. Does that mean that you still live here now? I thought you still lived back home.
No, I finally moved away when I learned there wasn't anyone worth marrying there. But I have noticed you walking around town clinging to someone's arm. Why didn't you tell me that you got married?
Sorry, what do you mean? I'm not following you.
Oh, come on. There's no point in playing stupid with me. I know that you're married, and I find it unacceptable.
Hold on a second. Let's set aside marriage entirely. Why would it even matter to you whether or not I was?
Oh, come on. Can you really not guess at all why I might care? You remember how much better looking I was than you in school, right? I was prom queen, and all of the boys wanted to have me back then.
Right. I guess now that you mention it, I do remember that you were quite popular back then.
No duh, I was popular, and I should have been the first one out of us to get married, but all the good boys back home didn't want anything to do with me after high school. Not only that, but it was clear that everyone there was way beneath me anyways.
Well, I guess it's good to know that you're still as confident as ever, Michelle. You certainly did have a high opinion of yourself back in high school, too, as I seem to recall.
Well, anyways, I think that I owe you an apology of sorts.
Sorry, you want to apologize to me. I'm not sure what you would even say sorry for.
Oh, I just wanted to say that I'm sorry for stealing your husband. In fact, I know that he picked you up from the maternity clinic, right? I guess that means that you two are having a baby soon. But I'm still not going to let you get away with getting married before. And so, that's why I stole your husband from you. So don't worry, I did reach out, just not to you.
I'm sorry, I really just have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I'll tell you. I was talking to your husband and told him that he should leave his wife and marry me instead. And that's why I want to apologize to you.
Michelle, I'm sorry, but I still just am not following you at all. What husband are you talking about?
Why are you still playing dumb? I know all about your handsome husband that you were trying to hide from me. You clearly weren't going to introduce him to me, so I had to take matters into my own hands. But don't you worry. Things went just fine for me, and now he's all mine. I'll even be sure to pay you off for our affair. So how about you just sign the divorce papers and hand them over already?
Look, Michelle, I only have a boyfriend, okay? I'm not married.
What are you talking about? Of course you have a husband! Stop trying to lie to me. You know that I've been able to steal your men from you ever since we were in school together. Just accept the fact that I've done it again. And also accept that you'll have to raise that baby of yours all by yourself.
Okay, well, I think I understand what it is that you're trying to tell me with all of this. But I'm not sure that I actually understand what any of it means. But if I have this straight, you're telling me that you've started an affair with a man who you know is married, and that you want to marry this man, and that's why you've told him to divorce his wife for you. And then you messaged me to tell me all of this because you think this man is my husband.
That's what I've been telling you this whole time.
Right. I see. Well, I don't know how else to tell you this, but I'm not pregnant?
Wait, what? What do you mean that you're not pregnant?
Not only am I not pregnant, but I'm not even married. Again, I have a boyfriend, but I don't have a husband.
Oh, come on. When are you finally going to stop with all of these lies? You just can't accept the fact that I've beaten you and that your husband chose me over you.
No, I really am telling you the truth right now. I did go to a maternity clinic with a guy. But tell me, was the guy you saw me with about 6 feet tall with a mole under his right eye?
Yes, that's exactly the guy that I saw you with. And he's your husband. He is your husband, isn't he?
Now that man is actually just the director of the maternity clinic, which is where I just so happen to work.
Hold on a second. That guy is just the clinic director.
That's right. And that guy is actually married, but he's not married to me. So I really don't know how else to say this, but I think there's been a big misunderstanding here.
No, this can't be happening. How can that guy not be your husband?
Well, he's not my husband because we're not married. Because, again, I'm not married.
Well then, that means that I've won. I've been right this whole time. I was always going to get married before you. Not only that, but I'm going to get married to a doctor who owns his own practice. Oh, this is way better than I could have hoped for. I get to be married before you, and to a doctor of all people. It might not have been the way I originally planned it, but it all worked out in the end.
Yeah, I guess you really are going to get married before me, aren't you?
That's right. But at least you can find solace in the fact that you didn't get abandoned by your man.
I mean, I think that you might have more things to worry about than just floating to me.
And why is that? Because I had to have an affair before this man would have married me? Who cares about having to pay for anything when I'm going to be with a doctor? I was already planning on paying you off for the affair with who I thought was your husband. So this is nothing to me. And now, I'm going to be the happiest woman in the world and never have to work another day in my life.
Uh-huh. Well, good luck with all of that, I guess. I was actually going to quit my job at the clinic at the end of the month anyways. I was going to try and find work in another place. So, I don't think that you'll be seeing much more of me.
Oh no. Are you being serious? That really is too bad. Ha ha ha. I might have let you try and squeeze my husband for some more pay or something if you had just been a little nicer to me.
Actually, I think that this is just all the more reason to leave my job. I don't want to get involved in this any more than I already have. So again, good luck with the marriage, I guess?
Hey there, Hilda. I was just wondering how your new job's going. Have you basically settled in?
There has been a lot of paperwork since I started here, but I have to say that I prefer it to the old place. Not to mention the raise that I got for working here.
Well, there you go. Sounds like things are going well for you. Actually, kinda wanted to talk to you about something.
Is it something that we should talk about over the phone?
No, it's not that, but I do have to send you a few photos that I'd like you to look at.
Well, that's fine with me, but is everything okay?
Well, you know how we've been. Going out for about 6 months now. I thought that we should talk. I've hidden this from you for a while, but I think you should know that my parents are really rich.
Oh, really? Well, I appreciate the honesty with me.
I mean like tens of millions in assets rich. Dad and I actually work at the company that my dad manages. Take over the company after he steps down.
Wow, that's a lot of money. I was not expecting this. Although, you know what? It does explain some of the fancy brands you own and the nice watches you're always wearing.
Well, my dad always told me to always dress up, or at the very least put on a nice watch. But that's not the only thing. You see, the reason I didn't tell you any of this is because my parents are scared that a woman would take advantage of me for my family's money. So that's why I lied about who I really was to you for all this time.
I can see that now. Oh, but it's not like we bonded over material things. We just had a lot in common.
I know. And that's exactly why I know that I can trust you. You never even once asked for me to pick up a bell. You're a hard-working nurse who makes her own through the world, and I respect it a lot.
Well, thank you. That really does mean a lot from you now that I know the truth.
But anyways, I know that we also both had in our profiles that we were looking for something long-term, right?
Yes, but what makes you say that?
Well, that's one of the condos that my dad owns. Costs about $2 million, but he told me that he's willing to let us move into there.
This is, wow, this is a lot to take in.
There's still more. Thing is, that my dad is quite sick. The doctors have only given a year, 2 at most, to live. So, basically what that means is that as his only son, I'm actually on the verge of taking over the company and all of his assets. I know this was going to happen one day, but it's never ever felt this real before. And the truth is that I need someone that I can trust with all of this, and that's why I'm saying all of this to you now.
Well, I really appreciate you talking to me about all of this. I mean, I'm shocked, but glad it's all out in the open.
That I have one more thing to tell you. And I wouldn't be mentioning this if I really didn't think you might be the one. The other day, my dad gave me my inheritance early. He thought it would make things easier on the taxes when it came to, well, him passing.
Right, I've heard that you get quite a bit taken out for inheritance tax.
Yeah, but if he did it this way, he wouldn't have had to pay a cent. All I have to do is pay a cool $1 million now, and I'll get all the inheritance tax-free.
I guess so. I don't really know as many details about that.
Well, the amount of money I got was in the millions, although because of the legal process, I probably won't be actually getting the money for another 6 months or so.
Wow. Well, look, Hank, I'm glad that you've told me about this, but those are numbers that I never even dreamed of having in cash.
I know, but here's what I want to ask you. Do you think I could borrow some money from you until I get my inheritance?
Wait, what? You want to borrow money from me?
Well, the thing is that until all these processes can take place, I still am just me. Besides, I'm going to need some money for the legal forms for all this. And, well, I know that you make quite a bit as a nurse, right? Please, I promise that I'll pay you back in 6 months. This is for our future.
But I don't get it. Why do you need to borrow money from me to do this? But that's just it. I don't understand something like this. I don't really understand. Can I just ask you a couple of questions first?
What more do you need to know? I've already told you everything.
Well, you're telling me that your dad is sick and only has, at most, a couple of years to live, right?
That's right. It's something that no amount of money or doctors can cure.
Okay, well, do you know the name of what it is that your dad has?
What do you mean? Why would that matter?
Well, it's just that I am a nurse, and I do know a thing or two about diseases. So I was just curious about what it is that your dad has.
Oh, right. I actually don't know the name or anything like that, but can I ask my dad?
Of course. I only want to help. I guess you can call it my nurse's instinct.
No. I really don't think that's going to be necessary. I just need a little money to tide me over until my dad, until he's gone.
But you said that you were going to have to pay $1 million to somehow cancel out your taxes? I'm sorry, but I just don't have that kind of money.
Oh, I see. Well, okay. Maybe we should talk more about this in person. I'll see you later.
Hey there, Hilda. It's been a while.
And just when I thought I'd gotten rid of you.
Oh, well, I need to apologize to you.
Apologize to me for what?
I did it again. I stole another one.
Another one? What are you talking about? You stole something?
That's right. I stole your husband. I actually saw you two going on a date with each other about a year ago, and I remembered what you told me, that you had a boyfriend but weren't married. So anyways, I struck up a conversation with him after you'd got home for the night.
Oh, you mean you did that again?
And, well, we just hit it off.
I feel like I'm having some serious deja vu here.
I also heard that he's going to be the heir to millions any day now from his father. That's why I stole him from you. I know I messed up last time. This time it is your husband. But now all of his money is going to be mine.
I'm still not married yet, Michelle.
What? But he told me you two were married.
I actually did have a boyfriend about a year ago, but I broke up with him, and now I'm completely single.
Wait a second. You can't be serious about this. He told me that he was married to you, and that if he left you for me, then he'd have to pay when you sued him for his affair with me. And so he told me that before anything could happen and before he could get his money, he would need me to give him $500,000.
You mean that he told you all of that?
That's right. He told me everything.
And he told you about his sick dad, too, I bet.
I knew it. I knew that he was your husband all along.
No, I'm afraid you're wrong about that as well. That man is my ex-boyfriend. And him and I broke up because about a year ago he started to stink of a scam.
A scam? What do you mean? I don't understand.
He told me about how he was so close to inheriting his father's business and wealth and assets and everything. He even promised me an amazing condo. He said that it'd only be a matter of time, 6 months at the most. But for some reason or another, he just needed to borrow $1 million from me. He told me that he couldn't go to his parents and they didn't have the money for him, and that he would need the money to avoid paying taxes on his inheritance. But when I asked him about his sick dad, he couldn't even tell me what it was that his dad was sick with. And when I asked him about the condo, he couldn't give me an address either. And he still couldn't give me a good reason for what it was that he needed so much money from me for. I started to get really suspicious, and so I decided to break things off with him.
But you mean, the money that he asked for, the $500,000 to break up with, was... But he told me that he was going to pay me back for all of that and more as soon as he got his dad's money by being free of you. Are you telling me that all of that was just a scam that he was running on me?
You didn't actually give him that much money, did you?
Of course I did. I was about to be rich. The whole reason I texted you in the first place was that I could try and rub it in your face, remember? He told me that if I gave him that money, that it would be enough to settle the lawsuit that you'd file against him.
Well, try asking Hank yourself.
Hey, Hilda. He's not picking up my calls. What am I supposed to do? Where do you think he's gone?
He's probably run far, far away with all of your money by now.
But that can't be. That wasn't just from my savings. I took out a huge loan to be able to give him all that money. He told me that he'd be able to repay me back quickly. He told me to think of it as a tiny investment for a big payout.
I mean, I guess it was a big payout for him if you think about it. This is the second time that you've done this. Whatever happened with my old boss, anyways?
Well, his wife didn't want to divorce, and neither did he. But she did sue us both for the affair, and then I was told to never come around again.
Wow. Well, it sounds like you got the short end of the stick there.
And now you're telling me that I just had the money stolen from me again? But what about all the fancy cars that he drove? The clothes, the watch, everything? He looked totally rich.
Yeah, I mean, the more you think about it, the more it was always too good to be true.
But how could he trick me like that? I thought that we really had something. I thought that I'd finally stolen your husband away from you.
You really haven't changed at all, you know that?
But what am I supposed to do? I won't be able to pay a loan that huge. You have lots of savings, right? Lend me some money.
No, this is just ridiculous. You need to stop this and look at what you've done. I haven't stolen anything from you, and I'm not responsible for your sick bullying trip.
But please, 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 please. You have to help me.
I don't have to do anything. In fact, it sounds like you have much more serious things to be thinking about than coming to beg from me. After that, I blocked Michelle on everything. I actually heard at the class reunion where I had seen Michelle at that she borrowed money from a lot of different people. Apparently, she didn't pay many of them back, and she slowly lost all her friends. So I'm sure that when she had to go to the police and describe what had happened to her, that it was quite the twist of fate for her. I have no idea at all what happened to her, or if she ever got out of her jam. If she did, I only hope it was through getting back at Hank somehow. But it really is none of my business.
Oh, dearie me, Chloe. Whatever are we going to do with you? I see you missed another one of our mother's meetings. I thought I made it clear you were definitely to show up this time. Why do you seem totally incapable of listening to a word I say?
I'm sorry, Karen, but like I mentioned before, I'm not going to have many chances to attend your mom's meetings from now on.
Excuse me?
Don't get me wrong. I'm really grateful for the invites, but I just started working full-time at a new company. I'm pretty sure I told you all this before, right? Your mom's meetings and tea parties are always held during the week, so there's just no way I'm going to be able to make them. I get that you want me to come, and I'm really appreciative of that. But at the end of the day, I have bills to pay. And if I skipped work to spend time with you guys, well, put it this way, I wouldn't have a job for very long. You do get where I'm coming from, right? It's not because I don't want to see you guys.
Get a load of this nonsense. Wait, You think you're special because you have a full-time job? Oh, I get it. You think you're better than me and the other moms, don't you?
No. No. Like, seriously, it's not like that at all.
Fine, I see how it is. So you're the type of woman who looks down her nose at stay-at-home housewives and temporary agency or part-time workers like me and the girls, are you?
Whoa. What the hell? How do you work that one out? No, it's not like that at all. You've got this all wrong. You know what? If that's what you think of me, then I'd rather we just terminated this relationship right here. That goes for the rest of the moms.
What did you just say? How dare you? You have no right to do that.
Our kids are all going to end up at different schools due to us all living in different school districts when they move up to elementary school. So we probably stop hanging out then anyway.
What kind of twisted backflip logic is that? To think I so kindly went out of my way to invite you. And this is how you repay me? With nothing but a bad attitude and disrespect? This is a slap in the face. Who the hell do you think you are?
In any case, I have a long business trip coming up. So it'd be literally impossible for me to make it to your get-togethers even if I wanted to. Would you mind leaving me alone from now on? Thanks, Karen. Goodbye.
Hello, Chloe. I heard your dad runs a high-end burger restaurant in the posh part of town. Well, I have a suggestion. Let's hold our next mother's meeting at your daddy's restaurant. How does that sound? With this, you can make up for not showing up to our past meetings in one fell swoop. Even if you are nothing but pathetic corporate livestock who spends her days slaving away in a cubicle while thinking she's better than everyone else. Me and the other moms can't turn down an offer of free burgers at one of the most luxurious burger joints in all of New York. A stroke of genius, if I do say so myself. As for the reservation at the restaurant, don't worry. I already booked us in. I knew that if I left it to you, you'd probably try to pull some pathetic stunt to get out of it. Oh, and by the way, it's tonight! I took the liberty of renting out the entire restaurant. So prepare for the luxury burger party of a lifetime. The reservation's at 6 p.m., so you better damn well show up this time. I invited a lot of people, so my reputation's on the line here. That's right, you're going to be there at 6 p.m. pronto, ready to entertain me and the other moms as the daughter of the restaurant owner. Naturally, you'll be paying for everything. Hello, Chloe. It's already way past 6 p.m., but you're nowhere to be seen. You can't seriously be telling me you're not coming to this one either. God damn it, Chloe! I went out of my way to make sure this party was held at a time you could definitely make. You can't use work as an excuse to get out of it this time. Not only that, but I even booked the party at your dad's restaurant so you'd have no trouble finding the place. And you still have the nerve not to show up? Chloe, you've taken this friendship group for granted one too many times. I am livid. You won't get away with this. Is this what you wanted? Even if me and you did stop seeing each other due to living in different school districts, that doesn't mean you'd never see any of the kids from our mother's group again. Some of the girls' kids would still be in your children's classes. You do understand what I'm saying here, don't you? If you do, I suggest you get your ass to this restaurant pronto. But even if you don't, me and the girls fully intend to order every single burger on the menu. And all on your dime. You do know how much I love getting my lips around a thick, succulent piece of meat, right? That's a joke there. Alright, let the burger party commence. Chloe, where are you? Why are you still not here? Me and the other moms rented out your dad's high-end burger restaurant all to ourselves. And the 50 of us are currently in the midst of a party of a lifetime. We ordered so many burgers. I think your dad's meat reserves might run out soon. I don't know why the hell you're taking so long, but you need to hurry up and get here before there's nothing left. I mean, really, how rude. To think the host would stand up her guests like this. Your hospitality could seriously use some work. Another round of burgers just arrived. Now that gets my juices flowing. Chloe? You didn't end up coming at all in the end. I'm so disappointed in you. What's worse, you didn't even reply to a single one of my messages. Tell me, dear, who exactly do you think you are? And what do you think gives you the right to behave so despicably? Oh well, what do I care? This is your dad's restaurant. And just as we agreed at the start, I'm going to tell them you'll be the one footing the bill. Alright, I think I'll treat myself to the single most expensive burger on the menu, followed by 3 luxurious desserts to finish up.
Huh? What is this?
Chloe? There you are. I was just about to message you. Won't you be a darling and talk some sense into the blockhead staff at your dad's restaurant?
What are you talking about?
You know, silly. You're going to pay for mine and the girls' magnificent burger party today, just like we agreed. The bill came out to $6,800, but I told the staff it was your treat. Be a dear and pass on the message to your dad so he can let them know, okay?
$6,800?
Well, there were 50 of us, not to mention all the hungry, crying children. It might sound like a lot, but it can't be helped given the circumstances.
50 people?
Yep, I pulled out all the stops for this one. I invited my old friends from high school and told them they could bring their families. Then there's all 12 of my ex-boyfriends, their parents, and of course the usual girls from our mother's meetings and their children.
I somehow feel like this is more than just a regular old mom's meeting.
Forget that. Why didn't you tell your dad about this beforehand, even though we discussed it all in advance? All this trouble could have been avoided if you had just done your job. It's one thing not to show up at the party, but another to completely ignore all of your responsibilities. Do you realize how awkward you've made things for me? The staff are getting all worked up about the bill now because of your negligence. I told them several times that the owner's daughter would be covering the bill, but they're insisting the owner only has a son.
Can you hold on a minute, please? I need to read through all the messages you sent.
Huh? What the? You mean you haven't been reading them at all?
You sent them all while I was on a long international flight. So there was no Wi-Fi, and my phone was turned off the whole time. When I turned it back on just now, it blew up with notifications.
Wait, what? You were on a plane?
Karen, I just got done reading through your messages.
Fantastic. Do you understand now? In that case, you need to hurry up and explain the situation to Daddy restaurant owner as soon as possible.
That high-end burger joint? Is it the one that's a few minutes walk away from the southern exit of Floppadoop Station?
Yes! Are you kidding me? It's your own father's restaurant, you silly girl. Surely you don't need me to confirm the address. Whatever. Just hurry up and let them know what's going on so we can leave and put this ridiculous situation behind us.
The owner of that burger joint isn't my dad. He's my ex-father-in-law.
Huh? Your ex-father-in-law?
Yes. The owner of that restaurant is my ex-husband's dad.
Huh? Wait, I don't even... Your ex-husband's dad?
Yep, we divorced half a year ago. Didn't I tell you?
Part
Part of the reason I stopped being able to come to the get-togethers as much was because I couldn't afford to get by as a stay-at-home housewife anymore. Which is why I ended up finding full-time work. I'm pretty sure I did already tell you this.
Wait, what? Are you serious? You told me that? Whatever, none of this matters. Father, father-in-law, ex-father-in-law, it's all the same in the end. You just need to give him a call, tell him you'll cover the bill, and make this all go away. And you'll do that, won't you, darling?
What? Pay the bill yourself.
But you promised to cover everything for us.
You should already know this, but at no point in the chat logs that I just went over did I make anything resembling a promise to cover the bill. Not even close.
Well, this is all your fault for not checking your phone. If you had just read my messages, none of this would be happening.
It's impossible to receive messages from 30,000 feet in the air, Karen. What do you think I am, a magician? Besides, even when I landed, I was so busy with the preparations for my business trip that I only used my work phone, which means I only just got around to turning my own phone back on. No matter how you look at it, there's no way any conversation that transpired between us could be interpreted as me consenting to pay a $6,800 bill at my ex-father-in-law's restaurant.
No. Wait a second. There has to be some kind of arrangement we can come to here. Chloe, are you in a different country now?
Yep. I'm in Canberra, Australia. Why?
Liar!
In any case, the reason I divorced my husband is because my in-laws were bullying me. You're dreaming if you seriously think I'd reach out to my scumbag ex-father-in-law over something this absurd.
Then who's going to cover the $6,800 bill?
I don't know. Pay it yourself?
There's no way I can afford to do that.
Well, how about you split it between everyone who showed up then? By my calculations, if there were 50 of you, assuming there were 10 children, that should come to about $170 per person. I doubt they'll be happy about it, but it sure as hell beats paying for everything yourself.
I can't slap my friends in the face like that. I promised them all the whole thing would be free. Besides, everyone went home already.
Oh, I see. Oh well, not my problem.
What?
Now, if you excuse me, I want to get a good night's sleep before tomorrow's business meeting. I won't be replying to your messages anymore.
No, wait! We're not done here. What am I supposed to do now? Seriously, I'm screwed if you don't help me. God damn you, Chloe. Do you have any idea how much crap I had to go through over these last few days because of you? My friends who came to the party burst out laughing at me when I told them what happened. And now none of them are speaking to me. And it's all because of you. I mean, it's not like there's any lasting damage. Because my husband paid the bill after a few carefully chosen words and a flutter of eyelashes. But still, you caused me a major pain in the ass. Mark my words, woman. I will be sending you a charge for that $6,800. So you better prepare yourself. You either pay or there'll be hell to pay. Do I make myself clear?
Hey, Karen. I don't think this is the time to be making empty threats.
Empty threats? Oh, believe me, you tragically deluded moron. You will be paying me.
My dad says your husband's fired.
Huh? Your dad? What are you talking about? Do you mean your real dad this time?
Yeah.
Why would your real dad be involved now?
Your husband works for Viral Cheesecakes, right?
Wait, what? How do you know that?
Because I work there too. And because my dad's the CEO.
The CEO?
Now, bearing that in mind, I have a question for you. Do you know how your husband managed to get a hold of the $6,800 he paid for the bill at the burger restaurant a few days ago?
He told me he took it out of his savings from back when he was single.
I see. So he didn't tell you the rest then?
The rest? What's that supposed to mean?
I guess I have no choice but to tell you myself. Don't worry. I have my dad's permission to discuss everything I'm about to tell you. What do you think your husband planned on doing after paying the bill?
What do you mean?
He tried to claim that $6,800 on company expenses.
What?
I'm sure even you understand that a party at a burger restaurant isn't an appropriate use of company expenses. When one of the employees in the accounting department realized what your husband was trying to do and reported him to HR, it occurred to them this might not be the first time he's misappropriated company expenses. Upon being summoned to a disciplinary meeting to explain himself, he confessed to everything. Your husband has been falsely claiming on company expenses for the last 2 years for things that don't even exist.
What?
Apparently, he tried to pull the wool over their eyes by mixing in the receipt from the burger joint in with a bunch of receipts from the business trip he went on last week. But with the amount of money being so outrageously high, obviously someone picked up on it. There's no way that your husband could have ended up with that receipt by accident. So the only reasonable explanation here is that the two of you were willfully attempting to defraud the company.
Is that why you just said he's fired?
The official investigation is still underway, which means the official announcement still hasn't been made. But this is textbook misappropriation of funds. It's written as clear as day in the terms of employment on the contract he signed when he started working for us, that doing so would make him liable for instant dismissal. So it's safe to say he's pretty much guaranteed to get fired when the investigation's over.
Oh my god! Is this really happening? This is bad! This is bad! This is bad! This is bad! Oh, what am I supposed to do now? Ugh!
And why are you asking me?
Because this was all your fault to begin with.
Don't blame me, Karen. You're the only one responsible for this.
What?
I told you why I couldn't make it to the moms' meetings anymore. But you couldn't just take what I said at face value, could you? Your ego was so bruised. You went out of your way to try and get your own back on me by renting the most expensive burger joint in town, to throw a party for your friends, and forcing me to pay for it. I didn't make a single reply to your deranged slew of messages, but still, in spite of that, you somehow managed to convince yourself I promised to pay. Then, as an unforeseen circumstance of your shenanigans, your husband was found to be stealing from my dad's company. So go on, Karen, tell me, which part of the story includes me doing anything wrong?
Because you stopped coming to our friendly get-togethers.
How many times do I have to tell you? I already told you why I couldn't make it anymore.
Well, it was still your fault.
We're just going around in circles now. I'm done with this conversation.
No, wait, Chloe, please, you have to help me. I'm screwed.
Not my problem. I'm pretty busy myself, you know. Your husband revealed some glaring flaws in our security procedures. So me and the rest of the executives at Viral Cheesecakes have to strengthen our systems to make sure nothing like this ever happens again.
So what? What's your point?
My point is that I don't have any time to waste on the likes of you.
What?
Goodbye, Karen. After that, when we finished assembling the evidence dossier providing beyond doubt Karen's husband's misappropriation of funds, we sent him a bill for the entire sum he'd stolen. Luckily for him, he dodged prison when his parents jumped in to save his ass by covering the initial payment, before forcing him to work 14-hour per-day shifts at a friend's company in order to pay them back. Before long, he divorced Karen and cut all ties with her. As for their kids, they were temporarily taken in by some relatives, but I heard they'll both be getting put up for adoption soon. And that's the story of how Karen ended up all on her own. Rumor has it that her parents pulled a vanishing act in the middle of the night 10 years ago to escape the hell that was living in the same house as their argumentative bitch queen of a daughter. Which means that, in the absence of a family home to go to, Karen's still living in the same city. Somehow or other, despite having hardly any money to her name, she managed to find herself a rundown apartment in a part of town with all the hookers and crack dens. Hilariously, even her neighbors there don't trust her, and her existence as a social pariah continues. At least she has the cockroaches investing her new apartment to keep her company. Occasionally, an old friend who lives nearby sends me reports of an emaciated, worn-out-looking Karen, aimlessly wandering around town with a bottle of whiskey, while sobbing uncontrollably.